in a fight with people at the strip club. Mr. Porter was not involved in that fight.
Rapper Blueface is well known for having carved out a special place for himself in the music business with his own sound and memorable songs. But his path has been tarnished by legal disputes, the most prominent one stemming from his participation in a shooting incident in Las Vegas that sent him reeling from a barrage of legal troubles. I'll walk you through all of the legal protections that he has in these tumultuous times. Hi there, and welcome back to Rumor Spill. The first accusation leveled against him was attempted murder, a serious charge carrying serious consequences. The judicial case quickly became centered on his shocking revelation in the courtroom. The road to fame for Blueface was anything but ordinary. Growing up in the more challenging areas of Los Angeles, he was first introduced to the streets through his elder brother, a person heavily involved in gang culture. Blueface defied the forces surrounding him by putting his energy into sports, where he excelled as a standout quarterback for his high school football team. College recruiters from all across the country took notice of his skill on the field, and he eventually enrolled at a public institution. But college life didn't last very long. Filled with despair and homesickness, he left school and went back to Los Angeles. His quest for a new path in life culminated in this return, which represented a turning point. In an attempt to feel part of the turmoil around him, he made contact with the Schoolyard Crips, a gang he had been a part of since he was little. Despite the lack of evidence, Blueface was unfairly fired for allegedly distributing drugs, and none of the odd jobs he took appeared to suit him. In the midst of this dark period, he had an accidental musical moment in a studio where he recorded a rap session for fun. His concentration was turned toward a career in the music industry as a result of this finding. But on November 16, 2018, things drastically changed in his life. He was robbed at gunpoint in a Newhall, California, gasoline station. He chased after the robber in a frantic attempt to exact revenge, which resulted in a fast-paced pursuit and a gunfight that left both of them wrecking their cars. Blueface, who was allegedly raped, was accused of assault with a lethal weapon by the police after they both took the robber into custody. For Blueface, this was the start of a string of legal disputes. He was charged with misdemeanor possession of guns in August 2019, but the previous felonies were dropped. In the face of scant public information regarding the case's outcome, he entered a not guilty plea, thereby pleading his innocence. Blueface's legal issues persisted throughout his career, underscoring the nuanced connection between public artists and their private selves. To make matters more complicated, he got embroiled in another court dispute in 2022 after a shootout at a Las Vegas nightclub. The cultural influence of an artist such as Blueface has shaped public opinion during court proceedings throughout various legal ordeals. It is still unclear how much the cultural impact of an artist should affect court decisions. The trial received a great deal of media coverage. Tensions escalated when a video of Blueface engaging in a furious confrontation at a Las Vegas strip club surfaced months before his dramatic trial testimony. Witness testimony describing the violent encounter supported the prosecution's compelling case against him when the trial got underway. The defense, however, contended that Blueface acted in self-defense and that the video footage did not show the full context. Known for his self-assured style, Blueface made a startling move as the trial was coming to an end by speaking to the court directly. In a direct and powerful address, he vehemently denied his guilt and refuted the prosecution's story. His words struck a deep chord, changing the trial's course and the jury's perception, leaving the courtroom in a state of turmoil. The verdict was equally shocking. Despite the serious allegations against him, Blueface was found guilty by the jury and only received a 3-year probationary term. Reactions to the pronouncement of the verdict were not unanimous. Social media users expressed their relief and solidarity with Blueface, while others questioned the veracity of his courtroom outburst. Blueface thanked the legal system and his supporters for their unwavering support as he exited the courtroom. Although it is unclear how this trial will affect Blueface's career in the long run, it has surely had a profound impact on both his life and the entertainment business as a whole. Blueface's narrative serves as a painful reminder of the delicate dance that modern culture performs between legality and celebrity as he navigates his profession in the face of these obstacles. Everyone involved in the sequence of events surrounding Blueface is now juggling legal challenges and a layer of complexity. The court acknowledged that Blueface's activities carried risk, which paved the way for a well-publicized legal dispute. His defense team was pushed into a difficult position as the charges grew, having to handle the seriousness of the charges as well as any unintended repercussions that might have an impact on bystanders. It was important to know that Blueface had been in a physical altercation in a strip club before in order to comprehend his mental condition during the future firearm event. His defense contended that the encounter had elevated his emotional condition, which in turn led to his ill-advised subsequent conduct. The fact that Blueface was being sued in civil court for these instances further complicated the matter. In court, it became evident that Blueface's incidents weren't isolated episodes, but rather were a part of a wider series of events. The story took a new turn when it was revealed that Blueface had taken a cell phone from a bystander at a different event, even though he was not directly involved in the resulting physical altercation. Despite the seriousness of the accusations and the possible consequences, Blueface's legal team urged for a fair outcome and emphasized the lack of any demands for restitution. The prosecution had proposed a sentence of 4 to 10 years. They had suggested a sentence of 12 to 36 months. The legal proceedings would presumably probe into the circumstances underlying Blueface's court appearances as the discussions progressed. The court had to consider several arguments and pieces of evidence, yet it still had the last say over the matter. Blueface freely voiced his dissatisfaction with the entire judicial process during the proceedings, citing everything from the district attorney's activities to the tactics used by his own defense attorney. He bemoaned how unjust it seemed that he was being treated while others received lighter sentences for relatively minor crimes like shoplifting. His difficulties were exacerbated by the criticism he encountered on social media, which began even before he was fully aware of the formal charges levied against him. The court hearing highlighted the use of firearms and the related risks to public safety, illuminating the breadth of Blueface's difficulties. The judge stressed the need for tight legal boundaries and took these factors carefully. During Blueface's sentence, the court reminded him of the serious repercussions of breaking probation, especially when it came to possessing a firearm. Blueface was restricted to staying out of specific locations, such as downtown and strip corridors, unless it was absolutely necessary for work. They also gave him instructions to stay away from everyone connected to the occurrences, especially Mr. Trailer and his family. He was ordered to stop using drugs and alcohol and undertake impulse control therapy in order to help him make better decisions in the future. In addition, he had to abide by lengthy search conditions and a curfew, especially with regard to digital storage and internet activity. Blueface was also required to comply with the court's demands, which included giving up all of his online accounts and device passwords. The public was captivated by the continuous court battles and the possibility of further punishments, even after certain charges were dropped, and many were anxiously anticipating the outcome. This court drama generated a lot of media and public attention in addition to dominating the headlines. From the buildup of tensions between Blueface and another artist at a high-profile event that resulted in a catastrophic brawl to the dramatic judicial battles that followed, the public attentively observed every move. The public's excitement with Blueface's case was heightened by his outspokenness and the dramatic flair of the proceedings, which included confrontational outbursts and cunning legal maneuvers. The interaction of narratives between the prosecution and Blueface's defense team fascinated the spectators both inside and outside the courtroom as the trial went on. Critics closely examined Blueface's contentious activities and lyrics, questioning whether his artistic expressions had crossed the line into actual violence, while supporters gathered around him, proclaiming his innocence and demanding justice. Upon taking the stand at last, Blueface made an unexpected speech that rocked the courtroom and beyond, leading to a flurry of theories and interpretations of his true motivations. Was it a deliberate attempt to change public opinion, a confession, or a request for leniency? This incident became the main focus of the trial, shaping public opinion and the storyline in the media. The legal and public reactions to Blueface's remark persisted as the case moved closer to its resolution. His remarks sparked intense debate on several forums, with some reading them as a cunning tactic and others as a last-ditch plea for comprehension. This conversation went beyond the courtroom, impacting Blueface's personal and professional life and creating a long-lasting impression on the public's perception of celebrity lawsuits. Ultimately, Blueface's legal journey brought to light the complex interplay among public perception, legal accountability, and celebrity. The conversations and debates he ignited about his case and the fallout from his courtroom statements continue to influence the public's perception of how celebrities behave and the legal system. This story is a sobering reminder of the potent influence that public people's acts have and the intricate relationships that arise when they come into contact with the law. Subscribe Rumor Spill for more videos.